Let's start having the discussion around why. And you saying you're putting charter into the why.
Yes.
Is to say and we know the charter is a document, and then sometimes we have seen that customers started doing data governance without charter as well, because they want to.
Yeah, quite often.
They want to start it. And what is why this document is important? The first thing I would also like to put it there, that the why the charter document is important,
Awesome.
and why we are doing data governance is also why it needs to be very clear to the organization. Why are we doing it? So if you can emphasize on that.
So if you'll hear me say a lot in my speaking engagements that there are three enemies of your data governance program. It is lack of focus, chaos, and not having a repeatable onboarding process and clarity in your roles, right? So you don't have to just have the role. We have to have a repeatable process for bringing people into these roles, because we cannot handle bringing people in and holding everyone's hand. So the charter is what keeps the focus of the team. Occasionally, you will have leadership turnover. You have the team that said, this is the approach that we're going to take. And so when you have leadership changeover, or you have team member changeover, sometimes you'll have somebody come in and they'll say, oh, you guys are doing it wrong. We should be doing it this way. Or I want to be next in line. You may have a leader in your organization that wants to come in and say, no, I need this like this, and I'm doing it this way. The charter is signed off by the executive council, and it's very specific about, I'm going to go to the next slide here. It's very specific about what we are doing, the approach that we're taking, because we've discussed the approach. And if you want to change the approach, you need to have that person go before the executive council and understand and sign off on a pivot, so that you're keeping the entire team focused as you pivot. And there are reasons where you would want to refocus your team. Things come up, but you don't want to do it without having a clear vision, and you don't want to leave the people that are their change agents in your organization trying to take on protection of their own focus. So what the charter does, if somebody does approach them and they say, I want to be next, I want to do it like this, you can be absolutely kind. I want to hear everything that you have for your input. You're going to be a great addition to our governance efforts, but here's our charter, and this is what we have to do. And I can't go off of that without going over and changing the charter, but I'll take you over there. And if you can convince them that this is what we need to do, I will even help you try. But otherwise, this is the train we're on, and it's already left the station. And oftentimes that's enough in order to keep the focus.
I think that's very important, Teresa. Thank you for that. I want to go to the very specific, deeper examples of why.
Yeah.
Mostly, we have seen the compliance is one of the big reasons that company people start data governance.
Yes.
But we also focus a lot more about data quality and data trust as one of the key areas for implementing the data governance. Are these three reasons, or there are more reasons for data governance as well?
There are more reasons for data governance. And oftentimes when I do review, they've got their charter, but the things that I notice that the auditors are looking for on the charter that are oftentimes not clarified is the two things that are right down here. The data governance office accountabilities and functions are not specific enough, or it did not specify the boundaries between data governance and data management activities. So one of the things that I want to point out here is that, what one auditor told me, that they get into these frameworks because they want to know that you're not just trying to check the box because you're being audited, that you're actually doing data governance and understand the value and the outputs that you're going after, that it's well thought out and well crafted. And so the charter is going to maintain focus, but it's also going to help you to clarify the boundaries of what your data governance office does and doesn't do. There's a couple of danger points in there, in that sometimes they want you to govern yourself. And we're starting data governance as kind of what I affectionately call a hobby. Data governance is a hobby, where we're got a research team together, and we've got a tool, and we're figuring out how to add things to the tool. but we're governing ourselves, and they want to know that you've got that oversight and that it's true governance, especially if you're a bank, and not something that's inside or a carve out of team members that already have another full-time job and they're doing this in addition. Although that's not a bad way to start. If that's how you start, by all means, start that way, but start.